Another stories, and which is going to be our focus, in fact, this bulletin, is all the Khalistani activity happening in the United Kingdom, and one diaspora Sikh coming out and openly coming out with the threats he's receiving from these extremist Khalistani elements. Then let's begin with the headlines first. After Indian envoy targeted in Glasgow, Indian national claims threat by Khalistanis in a fresh provocation. India raises Khalistani threat with UK onus on Sunak government to act against extremists now. Battle for Telangana intensifies. Prime Minister inaugurates projects worth 13,000 crores in mega development boost in the state. Ahead of Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan polls, hectic parleys in BJP camp in the national capital. Prime Minister calls for a mega pan-India cleanliness drive. Top ministers participate. And Mamata to skip opposition's October 2 protest, cites leg injury. Abhishek Banerjee to lead the TMC instead. Alright, this is a story which has not been leaving us for almost a fortnight and more since Justin Trudeau of Canada came out with those wild allegations against India. And of course, we are also not leaving this story. Now it's in the United Kingdom. Yesterday we had our High Commissioner there facing attacks. The Khalistani terror threat is real, cannot be ignored anymore. And a day after that targeting of India's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Vikram Doraiswamy, in a shocking incident that has now come to light, UK resident Harman Singh, a British citizen, has now released a video message claiming that he has been under threat from Khalistanis for the past 8 months. Fired at his car recently, just send a message. His family has received death and rape threats regularly. Listen in as Harman Singh refuses to be bowed down by these Khalistanis.
Okay, so we are here in Hounslow. With us, Mr. Harman. Harman जी, आप क्या बोलना चाहोगे मिस्टर गौरवारिया को?
गौरवारिया, मैं आपकी वीडियोस देखता हूँ और आपसे मैं बहुत प्रभावित हूँ। जो आप जिस तरफ से आप काम करते हो इन खालिस्तानियों के खिलाफ और जो भी हिंदुस्तानी खिलाफ है, आई एम विद यू।
आपके साथ क्या हुआ आज?
मैं खालिस्तानियों के खिलाफ बोल रहा हूँ बहुत टाइम से। मेरे पे कई हमले हो गए हैं और आज फिर रात को आके इन्होंने रात ये पेंट फेंका रात को पहले दिखाने के लिए खून के धब्बे तेरे को मार देंगे, फिर सुबह आके उन्होंने गोली मारी गाड़ी के ऊपर।
तो ये आपके साथ हो रहा है लास्ट 6 महीने से?
8 महीने से।
8 महीने से हो रहा है और आपके पास थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ऑनलाइन थ्रेट्स और फोन कॉल आते रहते हैं?
हजारों में आई है। रेप थ्रेट्स, बच्चों की फोटो डाली है, बच्चों की फोटो डाल के चाटी इन्होंने, और यूके पुलिस ने कुछ नहीं किया अब तक। लेकिन मैं लड़ रहा हूँ, मैं डर नहीं रहा। गौरव साहब, कुछ हिंट्स दो मेरे को कि इनके साथ कैसे लड़ना है आगे जाके।
मेजर गौरवारिया, देव वीडियो हमने आपके लिए स्पेशली बनाई हुई है, यदि आपको अच्छी लगती है और आपको लगता है इसमें कुछ ट्रूथ है, और हम लोग नेबर है उनके, तो हमको मालूम है कि ये हो रहा है इधर। और यदि नॉर्मल सिटीजन, लो बर्डिंग सिटीजन लाइक मिस्टर हरमन फीलिंग लाइक दिस हेल्पलेस, वी आर लुकिंग एट यू सर, इफ यू कैन हेल्प अस।
All right, that's a serious allegation, in fact, with an element of criminality there coming out in that soundbite of Harman Singh, who's facing threats from these Khalistanis. Joining me to understand what are the implications and what can be done, Ambassador Ashok Sajjanhar, former diplomat. He's joining us live from Delhi. Very good evening to you, sir. And I would want to begin with Kuldeep Singh Shekhawat. He's president of the Overseas Friends of the BJP. He's joining us live from the United Kingdom. To you first, Mr. Shekhawat. This seems to be clearly an attempt at drawing a cleavage between the two communities, Hindus and Sikhs, in United Kingdom. With whatever we have seen happening over the last few weeks, is there a sense of disquiet that this is really increasing in terms of its intensity, and what the communities are doing to really tackle that?
Thank you for having me on the show. See, the first issue is the Sikh at large is against the Indian Union? So my answer to that is no. The Sikh community or at large is very peaceful, very pro India and proactive towards India. But there are these certain elements. These elements, you know, which elements we are talking about. These elements have their own agenda. The agenda is generated from Canada, part of America, and there are some other countries involved in this agenda. So they work on that agenda to keep situation boiling. So what happened with High Commissioner there? The most surprising factor with the High Commissioner was there was no police available at the location. A diplomat, a senior diplomat of Government of India traveling to a Gurudwara, invited by the Gurudwara, he is going there and there was no security arrangement at the place. So you can understand how the British establishment is working on this. So they should have taken a note of it, but luckily situation was handled very well and the High Commissioner left the venue. Coming back to Harman Singh runs a restaurant in Ealing part of London, a very pro-vocal India supporter. Prime Minister Modi is one of the biggest fans out here and very outspoken about his views towards Khalistan. So there are certain elements again who wants to silence him. He has been offered money, he has been offered bribe, he has been told that okay, your business will be right, your business will be looked after, you will be looked after. You just start speaking against the Prime Minister of India. Start speaking against India because they want to propagate their own Khalistani agenda, which is actually in real terms is nowhere in UK. Only certain pockets have certain people, maybe around 200 people altogether. It's not a big movement. Nothing much is happening from their side. So this is a frustration these people have, this frustration, so that they are trying to take out on the Indian nationals who are pro-India, pro-Modi and pro-BJP. That's what it is.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Can I take this to Ambassador Sajjanhar? And sir, the kind of attempt that is being made to drive a cleavage between the communities is one thing, but directly attacking our diplomats, our High Commissioner, highest ranking diplomat in the UK. What's the Vienna Convention about? Do we have some options available under the Vienna Convention where we can really corner the UK authorities, because it's happening too often? We have seen our High Commission getting attacked, the premises getting attacked, and now even the High Commissioner under target.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Abhishek, you're very right. The Vienna Convention is very clear on this, that the security and safety of the diplomatic personnel and the diplomatic premises is the full responsibility of the host government. So it is the responsibility of the British government, of the UK government, that they have to provide all protection to our diplomatic personnel, not only the High Commissioner, but the other diplomats, the other officials who are working in the High Commission, and also the premises. So obviously, like Canada, in Britain also, the British establishment has been failing in its duty. So it needs to be brought to their attention, and they need to, they might have beefed up the security as far as the High Commission is concerned. But I think even as far as the High Commissioner, the Deputy High Commissioner, and some of the senior officers, when they are leaving, when they are going out, I think definitely there should be some sort of a security that needs to be provided to them, or definitely at the different venues which they are likely to visit for their official engagements. Definitely security needs to be provided.
Yesterday, of course, there was no security at all. I mean, despite all that we have been hearing, sir, there was no security at all.
Yeah, that is, quite mind-boggling as to how this could happen when, all around, whether it is in Canada, it is the attack on our High Commission in London, the attack on our Consulate General in San Francisco, even in Australia, all these sort of intimidations and threats that are being issued to Indian personnel, Indian diplomats. I think the countries really need to wake up, really need to take this much more seriously than they have been doing so far. Abhishek.
Yeah. Right. Let's. There is some condemnation coming in from the Glasgow Gurudwara committee, which had organized the event. In fact, invited the High Commissioner and the Consul General, and then the incident happened by these Khalistani elements. I believe some National Sikh Youth Federation or whatever. What is important is that the Gurudwara itself, or the committee that organized the event, they don't at all side with these, and they have in fact come out and condemned. Let's listen into what the condemnation is about. Then I come back to discuss some aspects raised by Ambassador Sajjanar.
I was very shocked when I saw what had happened at the Gurudwara in Glasgow, and I think that it sort of highlights and it demonstrates just how concerning the issue of both Khalistan extremists are, but also how the pro-Khalistan sort of activists, just how far they're prepared to travel and what they're prepared to do. My understanding is, and I think I'm right in saying that the Gurudwara in Glasgow, the committee had arranged an event to host the Indian High Commissioner and others to come to an event and to have a reception at the complex, at the Gurudwara complex. And these guys turned up and had harassed the management committee, and then had harassed the Indian High Commissioner, and sadly he had to leave. And of course, it's very sad for the people who had planned to attend the event, those who had organised it at the Gurudwara, and of course for the Indian High Commissioner, because this was precisely the sort of event that I'm sure he would have wanted to attend. But the individuals concerned feel that they have a legitimate case, and that they feel that they can harass and intimidate people, and I think that's completely wrong, and they need to be dealt with for what they're doing. And I feel very sorry for everyone involved. I think but particularly the High Commissioner, who deserves an apology.
Well, that was in fact Colin Bloom, and a former advisor to the UK government, and not in fact someone from the Gurudwara committee. But then of course the Gurudwara committee has come out with a statement condemning the attack and targeting of the Indian High Commissioner. Ambassador Sajjanar, if I could come back to you. I'll come to you, Mr. Shekhawat, just before, because I have to take up from where Ambassador had left on the issue of security. And you think, Ambassador, that the press statement of India or the Indian High Commission there in London can be taken as some kind of first information report, and the police action can follow, or and the British authorities can show their resolve that they will follow up on the promises they have been making in private about acting against these elements? Or you think that India would need to really escalate this and get tough in terms of whatever reciprocity should be followed to make sure that the British see reason? I mean, there has to be some police action.
No, you're very right, Abhishek. I think what we really need to do is we need to operate at different levels in parallel. First of all, I think the British authorities can take a suo motu cognizance of whatever has happened. We've seen on your channel, on multiple other channels, that there is video evidence that is available. People, their faces are known as to, who are the people. The people have said that they were from outside Scotland. They were not from Scotland. So even the Gurudwara committee seems to suggest that they were not from Scotland. They were not local people. They had come from outside. But their faces are known, their pictures are known very well. So I think definitely, on the basis of that, and definitely on the basis of the press release that has been issued by the Indian High Commission, this can be done. I think what really needs to be done is that in addition to the Indian government taking it up very strongly, and as Indian government has been taking it up strongly when Rishi Sunak was here, or whenever there have been conversations between our external affairs minister and his counterparts in the United Kingdom. We have raised this issue and we have brought it to the attention that action needs to be taken. But I think there is also responsibility as far as the Indian community is concerned. Now, I have read this message from the Sri Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, who said that what happened. But I was a little dismayed, I must tell you, Abhishek, when I read that they said that the High Commissioner was invited by a member of the Scottish Parliament. There's no mention that the High Commissioner was invited by the management committee of the Gurudwara. And who this member of the Scottish Parliament? Yes. Is he Indian? Is he Sikh? Who is he? I think the Indian community and the Sikh community in particular has to take full responsibility, has to take full cognizance, that this is happening. So, just by being quiet, being silent, I don't think that will work out. We have been saying for far too long that there is a minuscule numbers who are, engaging in this violence and terrorism and separatism, etc. Let's see by the numbers. The ordinary Sikh community should come out and in, very clear terms, no uncertain terms, they should make out that they are totally against it. They shouldn't be sort of, be a silent majority, so to say. There is a majority, but they should make their voice felt. That's what I feel at the moment. This is also the need of the hour, because otherwise, these small numbers, there were just 3 of them. These small numbers will think that we have been successful in intimidating the majority of the people. Yeah, go ahead, Abhishek.
Let me take this. This is a good question to take to Mr. Shekhawat. Mr. Shekhawat, what's really happening in London insofar as the community organizations go? Are they coordinating with each other, the Sikh organizations and the other Indian organizations, to make sure that these extremist elements do not really mainstream their narrative and remain the fringe? And going beyond, in fact, you think the community organizations at their level can speak to the British government? I'm sure many of these British citizens of Indian origin now with these organizations can really have some leverage with their respective MPs and a local administration to make sure that these extremists are brought to book. These are known names as ambassadors themselves posting these videos. They are British citizens. They are in violation of the local laws. Why can't the authorities act, and why can't the Indian organizations put pressure on them?
Abhishek, one thing for sure, Foreign and Commonwealth Office needs to act. They have to put their act together with the security agencies. They haven't done that so far. It's a bit surprising. Letters have gone to Sohila Braverman also, the Home Secretary of UK, condemning the whole incident. And I'll tell you, in Southall itself, there's a temple called Ram Mandir, Sri Ram Mandir. Recently, they organized a Krishna Janmashtami Rath Yatra. And would you believe, there were Sikh leaders, there were Muslim leaders, there were Christian leaders. They all turned up and they were all in harmony. There was no issue. The yatra carried on smoothly, finished very smoothly. The biggest Gurudwara they have is in Southall. And the leaders were there with us. So it's a case of fringe elements who are supported by, I'm very honest on that it's an ISI handbook. So they are being paid. Looks like they are on a payroll, and to please their masters, they are doing these kind of gimmicks wherever they can do it. Coming back to Glasgow, yes, Gurudwara committee is right in saying, because High Commissioner was invited by Pam Ghosal, who is a member of Scottish Parliament. And the person you see in the video, the suit, the guy who stopped the Sikh guy to go close to the ambassador, High Commissioner, is Pam's PA. That's his secretary who did that job. He ran and stopped these people to go close to the High Commissioner. So the story is very simple. There's a small number of fringe elements. They are based in Birmingham. Part of them are based in London, just outside London. And they have a story of creating ruckus wherever they can. Now, tomorrow it's Gandhi Jayanti and they will be there at the High Commission again. They have come out with posters and banners saying we'll be at the High Commission to oppose what has happened in Canada. What has happened in Canada and what it has to do with UK, first of all, and what High Commission of India in UK will do about it. Canadian authorities
But
themselves are not
that's
sure
for the
what has
British
happened.
authorities also to see, right? That's also for the British authorities to see, right?
Yes, correct. British authorities have to take a note of this. Foreign and Commonwealth Office has to look at it very seriously. James Cleverly will be asked by us also. I look after overseas friends of BJP in this country, so I am also writing to him saying why this has happened with our diplomat.
Right.
We are actually, this should be
Right.
condemned at all levels, and it will be. The Hindu organizations are up in arms. They're saying, hang on a minute, this is not on. Our High Commissioner is not a pushover. You cannot do this to us. So there will be a lot of condemnation going to the British government, and I think this time round, British government has to act, but they are reluctant to act. That is what is a bit of a harassment to all of, embarrassment to all of us, that they don't
Right.
react the way we want
Okay.
them
Let
to
me
react.
let me
Look at
let
Harman
me.
Singh's case. They have sent him a letter saying this is what they are trying to do is their right to oppose you. So by destroying his car, is that opposition? By firing a bullet on his car, is that opposition? Is that an expression, right of expression? I don't see that in that manner, but the police has written this to Harman Singh. So the way authorities in UK work,
Okay, that's very interesting.
freedom of speech, under the grab of freedom of expression, this is all nonsensical work that is happening in UK. I think government of India needs to put it in right perspective.
Okay.
Talk to the people, put them in the right place, and if they don't behave, then there has to be some action from outside. I feel so.
Okay. Let me take this to Ambassador Sajjanhar for his last words. Thank you so much, Mr. Shekhawat. But then, the point that you raise about some reluctance in the London establishment on taking on these extremists to the extent that the police is writing to Harman saying that this is freedom of expression. Ambassador Sajjanhar, we really need to go up the escalatory matrix like we have done in the case of Canada. Look in the eye and tell them that we are not backing off. I think please just quickly share one or two examples in which this can be done.
No, absolutely. I think this needs to be done. The case of the High Commissioner, it really needs to be made a test case. We really need to sort of, put the UK authorities, UK establishment, both as far as the Foreign Office is concerned, as well as the security establishment is concerned. We need to put them to the test, that you have to deliver on this case, because otherwise, if the persona of the High Commissioner is not, inviolable, it is not secure, it is not safe, then, nothing of India is safe in the United Kingdom. And we've got this commitment from the UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, when he was here, that he's not going to allow this sort of hate crime and this sort of violence to be perpetrated against Indian properties or Indian diplomats or Indian diplomatic premises. So I think this really needs to be made into a test case. And, just words will not be enough. We need to see action, and we need to see action in finite time. And I think this is what we have to tell the British government. Otherwise, like in Canada, this whole thing could get normalized. And we have to make sure that it doesn't get normalized.
Right,
this is an exception, and exception which is not going to be repeated anytime again. To our either diplomats or to our people. Abhishek.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us both, Ambassador Sajjanhar and Mr. Shekhawat from London. In fact, we are not going to let it be like this anymore, lest it get normalized like it has happened in the case of Canada. I think India is going to make sure this time that we are going up the escalatory matrix, upping the ante, so to say, to make sure that the British authorities do not in any manner get away by saying or calling this a freedom of expression. The security of our diplomats, our High Commissioner, is not a matter of freedom of expression. On that note, thank you so much, friends, for joining us. This is Exclusive Sunday. And short break on the other side. Live and Breaking continues.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Our topmost sources are telling us at Republic that there will be mega action against Khalistani supporters in the next 48 hours. Trudeau continues to look baffled and cornered on the world stage. The Indian agencies have decisively taken the moment to push back Khalistani terror and expose it both within and globally.
Breaking coming in. The NIA has raided various locations in Punjab, Haryana and a number of other states on close to 50 locations.
If you believe that the time for an anti-national digital news media in India is over, if you believe that journalism is not a narration of an anti-national agenda, an agenda against the nation, if you believe in our ideology which is only and only to put Bharat first, India first, nation first, then this is my personal appeal to you. Join the Republic Digital WhatsApp channel. Believers who believe in the true power of Bharatiyata, who are unafraid to make it their only cause. Therefore, if you believe in my ideology of nation first, it's very easy. The code is on your screen. Please join the Nation First community on the Republic WhatsApp group.
We are now called as Republic Kannada here in Karnataka. Republic Kannada has officially launched.
So today we dedicate Republic Kannada to the people of Karnataka. If you commit to the Republic Digital channel, you commit to put nation first. And therefore, I want you, if you are a believer, if you are sick and tired and done and dusted,
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
if you believe that the time for an anti-national digital news media in India is over, if you believe that journalism is not a narration of an anti-national agenda, an agenda against the nation, if you believe in our ideology which is only and only to put Bharat first,